Hey Len, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your dress position, let's take a look at your setup. Spine's reasonably straight here and on a nice tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. You do hold your arms considerably out in front of you and then let the club work to the ball. Ideally, we'd like to get those arms just sort of hanging a little bit more naturally, hands a little closer to the thighs. Let the club work out to the ball, and at that point in time, I don't think you'd be standing as far away from it. Keep your spine in the exact same position where it is, and as well the legs nicely unlocked. So a little transition from sort of that reaching red position into a little bit more of a yellow position with the arms hanging would be more ideal. From this point in time, let's go ahead and take a look at your alignment. We see that your feet are very closed. Carry that out towards the intended target. Theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. Based on that philosophy, we can see that you're definitely set up to hit the ball, or at least start the ball out over this big tree. Now I can sort of see here at address, it looks like though you're compensating with your club face there. You're getting the club face quite closed. So even though everything should be appearing that it's aiming out left, I think the club face is aiming a little bit more sort of, let's get that off the screen, is aiming a little bit more sort of towards maybe the left side of the fairway. Okay, we're also going to have to see some form of a compensation that's going to allow you to get that ball though back towards the intended target. And whether that's swinging the golf club on plane and then flipping the hands to close the club face, and obviously, you know, starting the ball at yellow or just inside of it, and then imparting a ton of left to right spin to try and draw or hook the ball back online, is yet to be seen. Or you're going to bring the golf club back, come over the top, attack the ball from an outside to inside swing path, and then that will help you obviously pull the ball back towards the center of the fairway as well. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. We'll flip them over to left-handed to mirror image you. We've got some color-coded lines on the screen here just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see what Jordan Spieth, as he initiates the takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation, drawing the arms and hands back as well as the club. And when the club comes back, we want to see it come back along the red line, which means the club is coming back on proper swing plane. Also through the early stages of the golf swing, we want to establish some good wrist hinge into play, where we're going to transition the club head from being below and in front of our hands to getting that club head above and behind our hands. Very important move through the golf swing here. At this point in time, we're now going to work the club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we want to have the lead arm and the club situated either on the yellow line, anywhere in between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically even up on blue, as we can see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to create full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a stable left leg, all the while maintaining the posture axis that we achieved with our spine at address. Okay? From here, as we watch you initiate your takeaway, there's a good chance this golf club's going to go inside and underneath the swing plane. Typically, that's what happens when people are set up very closed like this. So right here, you're drawing the club back, and incredibly, you push your hands a little bit more straight back than where your feet are. So this is really, really good here. That's a nice correction. That club's coming back on a really nice swing plane. Let's get some wrist hinge into play, getting that club above and behind the hands. That's absolutely perfect. We do see the club face, though, extremely closed. So as I already mentioned at address, I thought your club face was already a bit closed. The other thing too is we would have to pay attention to your grip. For sure, your left hand grip is strong. And what that means, I'm not talking about from a pressure standpoint, I'm talking about from a positioning standpoint. Your left hand is rotated underneath the club. Your left hand is rotated to the left underneath the club. That's referred to as being strong, and what that's going to do, it's going to close the club face. Now, if you recall, we've already discussed where your alignment was. Your alignment's way out here, way out here to the left. So we'd already mentioned that we're going to have to see some form of a compensation whereby we're going to hopefully get the ball back to the center of the fairway and the red flag. Therefore, closing your club face is going to help all of this transpire. So let's continue with your great looking backswing here, and let's work this to the top and see where you get to. And when you finally set that golf club at the top, you have excellent shoulder rotation, stable left side. Arms are in good geometry relative to your core. It's just you set your arms in a shallow position. It just means your right arm's sort of against your chest cavity a little bit, left arm's a little bit congested to your core, working in behind you. From a shallow position, you can still come into the ball well, but we are lacking a little bit of extension, and we would like to have your right arm maybe a little bit higher up on onto yellow, and then ideally everything's in an absolutely perfect position. But it doesn't mean you can't hit a good golf shot from here. Again, my main concern right now is the club face is closed, but the good thing is that is a compensation for you due to your alignment being out to the left, so it might all work out for you. Okay? As we create our transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our left to our right, fire our knees and our hips laterally to the target, unwind the core and fire the hands. And in doing so, we have to bring the golf club from that blue-yellow V zone back down onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. I refer to this as the check mark position. Simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands coming into the hitting zone, and this is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing. Let alone he's also going to hit the ball straight because the club again has returned back to plane, and this is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots. With you as we watch your transition back into the golf ball here, excellent dropping of your hands and arms. You're definitely going to be retaining angle and getting into a good slot position. Let's go maybe one more frame here. So this is perfect. So what we're looking at is we're looking at your lead forearm. We're looking at your club. And what do we got? Well, we got your backwards check mark. So creating power in your golf swing will not be an issue. The other fantastic thing is the club is returned back to plane. Exactly just what we see with the left side of the screen. So this is really, really good. My concern here is because you set your arms shallow, there is a very good chance this golf club is now going to fall underneath the plane. So what we see with Jordan Spieth, his club's return to plane and continues to attack the golf ball from on plane. Okay? And like I said, this is what produces straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment, lastly assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So if we want consistency, if we want to hit the ball straight, there's three things we need. We have to have good alignment. The body lines have to run parallel right of our target, our club face. The club has to return back to plane and attack the ball from this red line. And then lastly, the club face has to square up. If we do those three things, we can hit the ball relatively straight without losing it too far right or left. Now in your case, let's go to the next frame. And like I said, where's the club going to fall? Whoop, went too far. One more. Okay, so that club has fallen underneath the plane and it's attacking the ball from too far inside. So if we just connect the dots, we can have a very good visual as to how that club was coming into the plane. Now, with this move, you can still hit great golf shots. So I would rather you be underneath the plane than over top of the plane, which is what we see with most golfers. The only issue here is that when you do fall underneath your plane, the miss will be a block. So now the problem is, where were we aimed? Well, we were aimed at the yellow flag. Now the club's attacking from underneath the plane, so now our miss is a potential block way left of the target, of which we're already aimed way left. So that's a big problem. So at this point in time, what's the last variable in the golf swing? Well, it's the club face. So very simply put, let's go back to what we talked about initially. Where was your left hand grip? It's strong on the club. What's a strong grip going to do? It's going to shut the face down. So here's your compensation. You're going to be coming into the golf ball, obviously from aiming way too far left, coming from the inside. And in order not to lose this ball left, that club face has to shut down severely, and it does. So I can see your club face absolutely closing right here. It's closing so much you're de-lofting it. You're going to be imparting a ton of left or right spin. Let's watch and see where the ball goes. So here we are. Remember, we're swinging from the inside. This ball should go left, and we're aimed left. So there's no way this ball should go to the right unless that club face is absolutely closed. Look at where that golf ball started. Okay? So that golf ball has started right at the tip of that arrow. Okay? So it is heading back towards the intended target. So this is your compensation, right? We're aiming way left. We're swinging underneath the plane. We could potentially block the ball way left of where we're aimed, which again was the yellow flag. And what do we got to do? Well, we got to flip the hands. We got to get the club face closed, and that's exactly what you do. Now, the only concern here is that, yeah, the ball started back towards the center of the fairway, but the problem is this ball has so much left to right spin, it's just going to keep drawing, and it's going to keep hooking on you, okay? So to control those golf shots is going to be very, very difficult. So you can see that ball going way right, and it's just going to keep working further right. Now, your move to your finish looks great. I mean, overall, your golf swing looks superb. I mean, your hands work real well. They come back, they fire through. Your core works really well. You coil, you uncoil. You've got great footwork, allowing you to get through to a good finish. Your golf swing is so much better than the end result. And you could be, obviously there's a lot of potential here. Obviously, what do you need to do? Well, let's improve your alignment. Let's get yourself running parallel right of your target. At that point in time, let's fix up your grip so that we're not hooding the club face, because now there won't be any reason to hood the face because we're not aiming way left. I don't even care the fact that your golf club's a little bit underneath the plane, because you can still hit great golf shots from there fairly straight or with subtle draws, not the big sort of boomeranging hook that we have right now, okay? So you got to fix up your alignment, got to fix up your grip, and then go ahead and swing the golf club the way you are, even slightly underneath the plane. Not a big deal. Because at the end of the day, if I go ahead now and I just go ahead and fix your set position, remember we talked about your right arm and your club being slightly underneath the yellow line. If we get you in a little bit more of an upright position on yellow and then you swing, guess where your club's going to be when you come down? It's going to be camouflaged on that red line. So now you're going to be perfectly on plane. So again, what were the three things I said we need to hit a straight golf shot? We have to aim well, got to bring the club down on plane, and got to square the face up. So if we improve the grip, you can have a square face. Improving alignment is very simple to do. Let's get on the range, put some alignment tools down. Let's get you in a little bit more of an upright position, and guess what? Your athletic ability is so good, club's going to come down on plane. Now you've got all three criteria you need to hit a straight golf shot. You have good aim, good downswing plane, and a good grip. So got a great looking golf swing here. You tweak those things up, you're going to be a fantastic ball striker with a lot of consistency. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on these aspects, I'm located over at Glen Abbey in Oakville, obviously where the event was held. Be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all and you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide to your guests, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, hope you had a fabulous day, and I hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.